Thank you. Just a momentary wait for the gavel. I call the meeting of Monday, February 9th to order, and if the clerk would please take the roll.
Councilmember Archibald. Councilmember Ashford.
Present.
Councilmember Cole. Councilmember Harris.
Here.
Councilmember Lewandowski.
Here.
Councilmember Ruiz.
Here.
Mayor Rep.
Here. You have the minutes before you from the regular meeting of January the 26th. Is there a motion to receive and file?
So moved, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Ashford. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Harris. Is there any additions or deletions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes will stand as submitted. We have one public hearing tonight. If the clerk would please like to read that.
To hear comments concerning liquor licensees delinquent in payment of taxes, utility payments, and/or income tax reporting payments.
Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the City Council on our public hearing number 1 this evening? If they'd like to come forward, please give us their name. Seeing no one, I'll declare public hearing number 1 closed, and we'll move on to public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the City Council this evening? If they'd please come to the podium, give us your name, and you have 4 minutes.
John Gillis, Port Huron Township. What I'm here for is I'd like to find out, on the hockey game we had here a week ago Saturday, who authorized a $5 payment of the parking lot when the parking lot payment is $2, and they almost tripled the price for parking for that hockey game. Who is responsible for that, and what the reason for that was, if you have any idea.
I'll let
On that.
Mr. Freed answer that.
The McMorran Authority actually sets the rates for the parking lot, and they're responsible for that. So any questions about the parking lot fees would probably be directed towards McMorran.
Okay, but isn't there some kind of a law or something about gouging, and no matter what you set prices at, it makes no difference on what it is? To almost triple the price on the parking just because we have a federal hockey team coming into Port Huron. All I want to say is Port Huron's not going to get anybody come to hockey games if this is going to happen, because that's not fair to the people. And I'm not from the city, I'm from the township, but I come into the city all the time. And I spend money in parking spots and stuff like that. And I don't think that's fair for anybody to come to a hockey game for McMorran Authority to do that. So I guess it doesn't have anything to do with the city, but maybe I should take that up with the McMorran Authority, because that's not right.
They do have public meetings for the McMorran Authority. I think they're on Wednesday mornings.
Wednesday, 7:30 in the morning, this Wednesday.
Okay.
coming Wednesday,
Are we
so-
public allowed to go to that?
Yes, you
Where
are.
will that be at?
They're right in the memorial room over at McMorran on the first level there, when you walk in,
Wednesday.
right by the theater. And they are open to the public.
Okay,
Okay?
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Tell them we sent you.
All right.
Just point of information, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
How long haven't they been doing that for a few years, the $5 parking?
I think they do it on special events. It's
Yeah,
$2
that's-
other times, and it's $5, if I'm not mistaken, at special events, because they do have to sometimes do
Incur
that in
extra
order
costs.
to kind of balance the cost that it costs to have somebody here.
I just
So-
wanted to publicly say that because it's nothing new. I
No.
mean, they've been doing that for eons.
For other events, too,
Yeah,
not
for
just
other
this hockey
events, so
game.
it's not just hockey. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to address the council this evening?
This is David Ellingwood from Port Huron, Michigan, and I'm a resident here, and I'm concerned about an issue I brought up other times about snow and sidewalk and stuff like that. People that are disabled, whether blind or in a wheelchair, are going to have trouble getting in and out of the entrances of those sidewalks in the city, and I think it needs an issue that needs to be looked at. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that most people do try hard to get them cleared, and if there's certain areas and you need to call in a complaint, you certainly can do that. Is there anyone else in the audience who wishes to address the council this evening under public comment? Seeing no one else, I declare public comment closed and ask for a motion to adopt the consent agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Lewandowski. Is there a second?
Second?
Councilmember Ruiz.
Mayor Rep,
Yes.
could I have
Councilmember Harris.
managers number 4 taken off the consent agenda?
Number 4?
Yep, please.
Sure. We have a motion and a second.
Support.
We already have that, so. Is there, no, there isn't anything else. We'll take the vote.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewandowski?
Yes.
Councilmember Ruiz?
Yes.
Mayor Rep.
Yes, we have, yes. And we have 3 items on the consent agenda. One is confirming and approving single-lot special assessments for special trash pickup in the right-of-way, confirming the reappointments of Rick Mills and John Knuth to the Downtown Development Authority for terms to expire February 9th, 2019, and approve the scheduling of a public hearing for February the 23rd to hear comments on the Water Street Hotel Marina project, amended brownfield plan for 2021 through 2025 Water Street, which then takes us to, from the city manager, number 1.
Is accepting the bid from Raymond Excavating Company in the amount of $553,230.10 for the Washington Avenue Street reconstruction project from 10th Avenue to Stone Street.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Councilmember Ashford, is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Ruiz, is there discussion?
Mayor Rep,
Yes, Councilmember Harris.
just one question. I got a couple of phone calls today, and I went up and checked it out. And I know how some of the streets are deteriorated, but is there any specific reason that we chose Washington over Kearney Street? I don't know if the city engineer could, or somebody can elaborate. They're both in bad shape, and they're both in the same neighborhood, and I guess, are we worried about the hospital expansion or something like that?
We're simply fulfilling the capital improvement schedule that was adopted by council. And so this was the streets that were on the plan for this fiscal year.
Okay.
There's a line item.
Is there any other discussion?
Mayor Rep,
Yes, Councilmember Lewandowski.
I've got to assume too that Washington's probably a higher candidate to get done quicker because it does get more traffic with the truck traffic too.
Yep.
Any other discussion? We will take the vote.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewandowski?
Yes.
Councilmember Ruiz?
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Mayor Rep.
Yes, we'll move on to item 2.
Is accepting the bid from Telto Contracting Incorporated in the amount of $699,492.09 for the Hickory Lane Area Street Reconstruction Project, which also includes Priscilla Court, Standish Court, and Riverview Street from 15th Avenue to 19th Avenue.
Is there a motion?
So move.
Councilmember Ashford, I believe supported by Councilmember Lewandowski, am I correct?
Yep.
Thank you. Is there discussion?
Just a comment. I know it's been on our agenda the past 4 or 5 years, and it seems like we keep pushing back. These streets, yes, are in need of it, but we got North Boulevard and South Boulevard under our capital improvement plan. And if you go back and look at the capital improvements from 4 years ago, and we just keep pushing it back and pushing it back, and now we say it's on the back burner again. And I just think that we have to start taking a good look at North and South Boulevard.
If I could respond to that?
Yes, please.
Councilman Harris, you're absolutely correct. Currently, those are scheduled for 16 and 17, but we are working to get at least South Boulevard funded in the next fiscal year, and we'll bring that to you in the budget preparations. I personally walked that street. I received several phone calls from residents who live on that street over the course of the 8 months I've been here, and so I felt it important to at least walk the street since I got that many phone calls, and it is in rough shape. And so it is on the schedule for 16, 17. We will hope to advance at least south in the next fiscal year, but it is questionable if we can afford both north and south in the same fiscal year. So we'll try to bring that to you in your next budget.
Thank you.
Isn't one of the reasons why it's kind of been pushed away a little bit is the cost of doing those 2 streets?
Significant.
Is there any other discussion? Did you have a question, Councilmember Ashford?
No, I think he incorporated it in his previous comments, so I have none. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Anyone else have any comments, discussion? We'll take the vote.
Councilmember Lewandowski?
Yes.
Councilmember Ruiz?
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Mayor Rep.
Yes, we'll move on to item 3.
Is accepting the unit price bid from Dean Marine and Excavating Incorporated in the estimated amount of $121,835 for the 2015 maintenance dredging of the downtown marina area.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Councilmember Lewandowski, is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Ruiz. Is there discussion?
Just for informational purposes, this is the worst-case scenario. We are actually hopeful that if water levels continue to stay high, that we may not need to do any necessary dredging. If you remember, just a few months ago, I believe we did a change order and reduced our bid. The last year's bid was right around this amount. We reduced it, I think, $70,000 around that ballpark is what we didn't use. So this is, again, the worst-case scenario, but we are hopeful that we may not have to do any dredging. But we do a change order based on quantities if they don't have to dredge as much, like this year. I believe it was in September, October, they changed ordered $70,000 down, a reduction.
Is this something that we get reimbursed from through a grant at some point, usually?
No.
No? Not this year? And this company have they ever done it before? It's usually Malcolm?
We'll let Dave come up. He wore a suit. We'll get some TV time for him here. He looks nice tonight. Put him on TV. Let Clegg see
Thank
you.
you. Mayor, members of the council, James, this particular contractor we used last summer, and they did a good job.
I'm so used to seeing Malcolm Marine on there, that's why.
Malcolm Marine did bid it this year, and they were third on our list.
Yeah, I see that. Okay.
Can you tell me, just for people watching at home too, how do we go about determining if we need to dredge or not?
What we do right after the ice breaks, we go out and survey how deep the water is compared to how much settlement came down the river this past year, and we try to do 6 foot deep, about here, 6 foot deep every year. Sometimes we go to 7, and typically we dredge around 2,200 cubic yards. Last year, I think we only did around 600 cubic yards, and one year we've only done 200, but as James said, the amount that's in the contract is probably about the worst-case scenario that we could have.
Okay.
Madam Mayor, and what is the time frame that we do this in?
By mandate, we have to have it done by April 15th.
Oh, okay. Let me back up again, by mandate from,
From the DEQ, we cannot dredge after April 15th because of the fishies.
oh, okay. All right, thank
And we
you.
get a permit for this, correct?
We get a permit for this every year. It's a 5-year permit.
Right, yeah, if it's a DEQ, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Yes, Councilmember Lewandowski.
got a question for Dave, too. A couple years ago, we spent a lot of money to lower a lot of the docks over in the marina. Do we do all of them, or are we still on that process of lowering them?
The water right now is 18 inches higher than it was last year, and the water last year was about a foot higher than it was before. I don't think we're going to have to spend any money lowering any docks this year. Be more worried about having to raise the docks that we
I was
lowered
going
before.
next.
Hopefully, we won't have to do that.
Okay. That's kind of where I was going, I was going to see if that's something that's going to be coming to us in the future, if we're going to have to raise some of those back up now because of the water levels, but,
Not this year.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no other discussion, we will take the vote.
Councilmember Ruiz.
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford.
Yes,
Councilmember Harris.
Yes.
Councilmember Lewandowski.
Yes.
Mayor Rep.
Yes, we'll move on to item 4.
Is receiving and filing the quarterly financial report for the 6-month period ending December 31st, 2014.
Is there a motion?
so move.
Councilmember Ashford, is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Harris. Is there discussion?
Yeah, Mayor Rep?
Yes, Councilmember
I guess I
Harris.
just had one comment. I look over it, and it looked like everything in there, the trends were really good. I guess the only thing to me that stood out under in our packet is page number 16, but it's insurance, health, and safety. We've got a budget of $63,000, and we've already spent $57,867. And the trend seems like we're going to run out of money in a week or a month.
Council, Mayor and Council, insurance is one of those things that we get a bill right at the first part of the year, and we allocate all of our insurance costs out. So really, that's the lion's share of it. There shouldn't be, sometimes a few bills will dribble in if we buy another vehicle or something, but that should be the lion's share of it. So we should be okay there.
So it's not a trend. That's good.
No, normally what we'll see is the first quarter of the year, it's a large expense, and then it just creeps up a little bit each quarter after that, so,
Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions for Mr. Brenner before he sits down? No, thank you. Any other discussion? We'll take the vote.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewandowski?
Yes.
Councilmember Ruiz?
Yes.
Mayor Rep.
Yes, we have one resolution.
Is authorizing 14 payments.
Is there a motion? Councilmember Lewandowski, is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Harris, is there discussion? Take the vote.
Councilmember Harris?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewandowski?
Yes.
Councilmember Ruiz?
Yes.
Councilmember Ashford?
Yes.
Mayor Rep.
Yes. This concludes the regular agenda for the meeting of Monday, February 9th. We have one announcement. The special city council meeting that was scheduled for last week on the 2nd has been now rescheduled for Tuesday, February the 17th at 6 p.m. in conference room 408 to discuss goals and priorities. Is there anything else that council has before we adjourn?
One little comment.
Yes, Councilmember
The second
Harris.
floor is going up on the Holiday Inn Express, so they're starting on the second floor, so that's good.
Excellent.
Good. Anyone else on council have anything?
I have a few updates I'll give you.
Okay.
I just got a little slammed last week, so I wasn't able to shoot out an email real quick. We are in the final discussions with the city of Troy and Southfield and Automation Alley. You signed the memorandum of understanding several months ago. We will begin formalizing the agreement to bring you. I'm hopeful we can do it at the second February meeting, but worst-case scenario would be the first meeting in March. Our LDFA district will also work on that in the next 2 weeks as well. We're hoping instead of a flat fee, we're hoping that it will be more percentage-based so that the city actually doesn't have to pay anything unless the smart zone is truly a success. And that's a change that I've pretty quite honestly demanded in the last week. So those conversations are ongoing. Hopefully, we'll have something for you to see in the next couple of weeks. The DDA is meeting tomorrow morning to have a work session regarding their budget goals and priorities. Significant infrastructure needs. When we did the roundtable with the business owners, their number one priority was first and foremost taking care of the aesthetic issues on the streetscape, meaning we've had some crosswalks get broken up that are backfilled in with the cold patch. They'd like to see that fixed. The business owners had expressed that was, kind of priority to them. So we developed a budget which takes in those concerns. Also, the East Quay parking lot is in significant need of rehabilitation. Also looking at West Quay and the Majestic parking lots. And so we'll have a discussion taking in our feedback from the business community, our priorities that the DDA has been looking at, and we'll look at what's a realistic budget, a multi-year budget that we can, make these improvements happen. And so that will be going on tomorrow. Councilwoman Ashford, you came to the last meeting. I think you appreciated that.
Oh, yes, yeah. It was very informative and enlightening, so.
It was good just to hear from the business community. They are the stakeholders and the taxpayers down there. So that was important that we brought them in, and I think it was really helped. Again, the DDA was formed for a purpose, and we need them to refocus on that purpose, so that conversation is going on. So the smart zone and the DDA, those are the two big items we're working on, and hopefully we'll have something tangible for you to look at in 2 weeks.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Thank you, Councilmember Ashford. Meeting adjourned.